Welcome to the video. In this video I'm going to take a quick look at a new feature in Betaflight 3.0. Now this is a quadcopter that we've been building as part of our quadcopter building for beginners series 2. It's a slightly more advanced model and there was a little bit more of jiggery pokery to get everything to fit. As you can see, things like the ESCs and motors are kind of pretty much connected directly together. But one of the things that this little model does that I wanted to talk about, because it's going to get asked when we do the build, is I've actually added some LEDs here to the back on a custom 3D printed mount. Now this mount here is available from thingiverse.com, so if you want to have a look at it, go on Thingiverse and search for Painless 360. It's designed to do a couple of things. The first is obviously to support the LED bar at the back, but also to make sure that the power connector never rises up into the path of the blades, because everything is pretty close here on this model, and if it did rise up, it's immediately going to smash into the rear blades. So there's a holder, but there's also a couple of little risers as well. So the reason I want to make this video is, one, to show you this extra cool feature that Betaflight has, and also just to very quickly talk about how we've connected these LEDs to the flight controller, and also what you'd need to do in Betaflight itself to enable this effect. Now we already have a video that completely goes through the LED setup in CleanFlight. The Betaflight setup is very, very similar. But before we go any further, let me just show you what these lights are like. Make sure the radio is on. So if you ever wanted to be Michael Knight or to have a Cylon, this one is for you. So let me just unplug it. So let's just quickly connect this up to Betaflight and I'll show you what we did to get that working. So here we are on the computer and we're just about to connect to the flight controller. Now what I'll do before I click connect, let me just quickly show you this image. So this is how you need to connect it up to the flight controller. So you need to power the LED strip. Now we tend to get these Adafruit sticks, have 8 LEDs on here, and you can power them directly from the flight controller into the voltage in and ground, and then you connect the digital in, which is the input of the stick, to pin 7 on the flight controller. Once you've done that, what you need to do is come into Betaflight, and then if you go into, let's just make sure we've got expert mode turned on. First thing we have to do is go into configuration, and then we need to turn on LED strip. Now when you first plug the LEDs in, they'll be completely dark, and that's absolutely normal. That's what you'd expect. When you first enable LED strip and then save and reboot, all the LEDs will then come on as bright white. Then to configure them, you go to LED strip. In here, this is how I've got mine set up. Now, bearing in mind the way I have mine set up is that is digital in, the connector is here. So the first LED is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And what the first thing you have to do is set your wire ordering mode. The reason that we've got these in this position on this grid is looking at the quadcopter from the top. So this is the front of it, this is the right hand side, this is the left hand side, and this is the rear, and that's where my LEDs are. So I first of all use wire ordering mode to put them into 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then each of them is selected, and I've selected a colour, and the colour that I've selected happens to be red, and I've also turned on something called Larson scanner. Now Larson scanner is that thing we've just looked at where it looks like something from the front of Knight Rider's car, or the eyes of a Cylon Raider. So just wanted to kind of share that with you, and also let you know that's how you plug it together. And if you were building this model along with us in Series 2, that is where you can go and download the specific support so you can do the same as we did. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video. There are lots of other videos on the channel and they're carefully ordered into playlists, so you may find that there are other videos on this same subject that you can go and watch. So I would recommend going into the playlist area of Painless 360 YouTube channel and looking around and seeing what there is. You never know what you might find. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and happy flying.